Test, test. Can you hear me? Yeah? All right. Let's go then. Hi, guys. Thanks for being here. My name is William Bailey. I'm the co-founder and CEO at Bolero Music. 12 months ago, I was here to talk about the potential of NFTs and social tokens in the music industry. Now I'm back at it, but with a lot of insights and a lot of experimentation. So today I just want to try to show you how music is critical to the mass adoption of crypto, and we're going to see why. So first of all, why does music matter? Do you have any idea? Or I'm going to give you a few hints. First hint, these are screenshots of live concerts in Fortnite. So these are experiences where fans were able to interact in a virtual world for the first time. So it's definitely centralized, but it was a mass experience where millions of users were able to experiment this new kind of show. Second hint, these are the streaming platform's age demographics. So as you can see, the most represented users here are the younger generations. So now that you've got those two hints, you should understand that the key are the youth. So I don't know if you know these curves, but this is the curve from the thesis Crossing the Chasm of Geoffrey Moore, something that was created in the 90s. It shows you how it is a challenge to get from early adopters to the early majority. Here at the Ethereum conference, we are all innovators and early adopters. So everything is okay for us, connecting a wallet, understand how blockchain works, understand what is an NFT. But for the early majority, it's a struggle. It's a pain in the neck. So today, thanks to this crazy ride that we had during 12 months, we are basically here. So we are, having this jam with all the early adopters, but how do we get to the early majority? This is the question that we should ask ourselves, because obviously the next steps for Web3 and crypto is mass adoption. First good news, there are plenty of money in music. So people, even if there is a global economic crisis, even during lockdowns, people were spending money into music because people are craving for new experiences and they want to get closer to their favorite artists. So this is a first good basis. As a reminder, we should just keep in mind what happens in the music industry. As many of you know, even if the streaming platforms are growing, definitely, at a fast pace, they are not generating enough revenue to let every artist make a great living from their art. Second point, actually the music industry is transitioning to something that is more local. So what drives the growth of the music industry are local markets. 20 years ago, people were listening to, the most listened 20, 30, 40 artists in the world. Now they are listening to local artists. So having this in mind, we think at Bolero that Web3 is actually a concrete solution to improve how the industry operates. So let's see how we can do so. First of all, let's think about the Web3 assets. From your point of view, do you think that they are candies, vitamins, or painkillers? Meaning that, is it something that is essential, that you have to take every day on a daily basis? Is it only a nice to have? Like you can skip actually your vitamin, a day, a week, a year, or during an entire lifetime. There will be no danger. Or are there candies? So only something to entertain people. Actually, the answer is pretty simple, candies at the moment. But it's a really nice point because this is how we innovate. This is how we try new things. This is how we experiment. We start with candies. Then we can produce some mass market products. So what kind of tools that, we have a lot of tools, plenty of tools. But there are three common standards thanks to EVM blockchains. There are the ERC20 tokens, basically NFTs, ERC721. The new standard 1155. And there is this awesome project which is related to the on-chain distribution of music. Knowing this, we should get back to the customer experience. And I'm not the only one to say that. Steve Jobs actually said that. You should not take a tech and see how you are going to sell it. You should go from the customer experience and see which tech, which tool you are going to choose, you are going to leverage to answer your customer's need. So please keep that in mind. Tokens and NFTs are not product. Like during the last 12 months, everybody was saying, I'm selling NFTs, I'm selling tokens. No, you're not selling NFTs. Like nobody says, I'm sending a message to my mom through the TCP protocol. No, you're saying I'm sending an email. So this is the same. So keep that in mind, it's super important. Now back to the product, now that we know the tools that we can benefit from. Actually, artists can sell a lot of things, thanks to Web3 assets. They can sell community membership, exclusive content, ownership, tracks, live concert tickets. There are plenty of use cases, great use cases, that can be done thanks to blockchain in a better way than it is done now in a centralized way. So, got quick. So during the last 18 months of experimentations, there were a lot of use cases tried, developed, distributed around the world. So let's have a quick look at what happened. So actually artists tried to solve exclusive visuals, basically album covers. Most of the time, thanks to this Web3 fashion, 3D avatars or 3D items with which you could interact. They sold revenue sharing NFTs, so basically a way for a fan, a music fan, to own a piece of a track and collect a passive revenue from it. Unreleased records, so that means basically MP3, so tracks that are not distributed on the streaming platforms. It is essential because you cannot, distribute a track on the blockchain and then distribute it on the streaming platforms. Like there's something that cannot work here regarding how the industry operates and how the copyright management operates. Master shares. Master shares is a common word in the music industry, but not so well known to everybody else. It's actually the IP behind a record. Now, thanks to NFTs, artists, producers, beat makers can sell a percentage of a track to their music fans. And it is a nice way to share the IP, so the fan can actually own a piece of a track that they stream on a daily basis. That's something emotionally impressive. And for the artists, it's a nice way to generate some cash, generate some liquidity to invest in their career without going into like a constraintful record label deal. We have experienced free mints too. So this is something that was really trendy in the last couple of weeks. So actually artists sometimes didn't want to ask a lot of money to the fans, so sometimes they were only asking them to mint an NFT for free based on an experience. And also we have experienced POAPs, which are basically a proof of attendance. So sometimes when you went to a concert, you were able to get back home with a POAP in your pocket. So with those, like all these experimentations are super interesting because it paves the way to a better music industry. We have met so many artists who are innovative, like real entrepreneurs. So we are really enthusiastic, but let's get back to the music fans because they are the one to buy at the end. So we should focus on what is their feedback. And with all this 12 months craze and all this bubble, what happened, we need to focus on what they have to say. So first result, too many expensive drops that we can't afford. Not every music fan has, a few $100 to spend in an NFT. And sometimes they can't get in the loop, they can't experience Web3 in a positive way if NFTs are expensive. So it's still kept to the lucky ones, All the early adopters, like remember the curve that I was showing you? All the early adopters who have, entered Ethereum and all these cryptocurrencies at the early time, they have budget. But all the early majority, they are not going to spend $500, $600 in an NFT. Second point, NFTs are against the cultural values of sharing and openness we attach to music. So particularly in the rap scene, the hip-hop scene, people are super, they care a lot about sharing for free, giving strength to the artist, to the community. So when you drop an NFT, you create this kind of exclusiveness around the content that is actually a cultural misfit. My first motivation to buy is profit because of the artist influence. Most of the time, like we have seen so many NFT drops, social token drops, we have seen a lot of people buying, and those people were not music fans. They were not fan of the artist. They were actually only buying it for profit. So it actually puts the real fan on the side, and the people who benefit from the experience, who can really engage on a long-term basis with the artist, are not the targeted ones. So there is also like something that is not working here. I find it difficult to value the content attached to the NFT. I've never bought one because of that. Again, thanks to the avatar trend and the PFP trends, a lot of artists try to release and drop some PFPs. But like in the Web3 community, we are like super enthusiastic regarding PFPs. We have been enthusiastic, but music fans don't relate. They don't understand. They're like, okay, maybe I can put this on my Instagram. But what's the point of spending $1,000 on a profile picture? They don't understand. To have a wallet makes it complicated, and I don't understand why I need to have my own. Another point. Us, early adopters, innovators, it's easy for us to connect a wallet. For the regular user, it's not. So we should be like super focused on this issue too. Like I know there's a lot of work and research done around wallet connections and wallet accessibility and UX, but at the moment, the early like regular users will not use MetaMask like us. I'm excited by decentralized use cases, but I struggle to share this interest with my friends and siblings. Who didn't struggle, like to explain to your mom, to your siblings, to your cousins what you are doing in life? Like we have a real lexicon issue here. And if we want to get to the mass adoption, we need to improve this. So I tried to summarize this as 5 insights. First insights, regular users don't bother understanding how blockchain works. This is the first point. I think you understand that. Insight number 2, music fans want impact, actionable assets, and recognition, social cloud. What does that mean? They don't want to collect just to own. They want to own to do something. They want to act. So all the assets that we should think about and drop should be actionable. Second point, it's recognition. By doing actions, performing actions, they want to be recognized as engaged fans. And actually, thanks to immutability and thanks to those Web3 assets, we have a proof. And this goes to the insight 3. Listeners see tokens as a historic proof of support. So that means that this is a way for them to tell their friends, I was there before you. And I engaged with this artist before you. And it actually excites them. Insight number 4, listeners see tokens as the expression of their music tastes. This is a new way to experience music, actually. Like, the tokens you own, the NFTs you own, represent what you like. And like, what is the music that you like to listen on a daily basis, and what are the artists you believe in. Last insight, digital assets follow the same adoption curve as streaming platforms. We're in 2010, guys. So we are still super early. And back at that time, nobody understood what was a stream. Now it's a common word. And it is the same. And this is why at Bolero, as a company, we believe that token is the new stream. And this is our, this is what drives us on a daily basis. We think that it is going to reshape the entire industry. And how so? Simply by putting back the music fan at the center of the value chain. It will be like the get-go of any story behind an artist and the end. So this is why at Bolero we are trying to make this accessible. We have been operating since 18 months. We have been working with hundreds of artists. And at that time, we are really thinking that the social token is the gate of entry into Web3. And then, once the fans are in the loop, they can enjoy new Web3 assets, new tools. But first, you need to you really need to offer a simple experience. And what we tell them is that now anybody can have a record label in their pocket. build your own portfolio, show to your friends what you like, who you support, and build this record label. Thank you very much for listening. And special HCC offer, you can scan this QR code. If you sign up and connect your wallet, you will earn $10 of fan tokens today. Thank you very much. Any question, guys? Any disagreement? I told a lot of things, so you have the right to not agree, but we've been there. Yep. Yeah, maybe. Okay, next one. Yeah, go on.
Is it me?
Yeah.
No, I must apologize, I wasn't there at the beginning, so I hope I'm not asking a question about something you already said. But for me, the main point of listening to music is about streaming, as you said. So I wanted to understand to what extent you tackle this action of streaming through Bolero, and to what extent you think that tokens can be leveraged for this kind of use, besides all the fan engagement, fan tokens, and also revenue sharing properties that are not unique to the industry of music. In fact, they can be the same in the art sector and so on and so forth.
That's a really good question. So actually, we are not trying to tackle these streaming issues around revenue redistribution, because as mentioned, streaming platforms are growing. So in many, like I think in 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, they will have, more money. They will have more, like a higher turnover. So they will be able to redistribute in a better way and to help artists to make a better living. So what we are trying to tackle here is how do you create a sustainable revenue that is recurring and that is not related to your capability to produce new content. Like today, to challenge the fact that streaming platforms are not paying so well, artists are producing a lot. They're releasing a lot of tracks, they're really productive. Now, with the fan tokens and the fact of monetizing actually your fan base and the people who believe in you, you are now able to benefit from a new revenue that will not be linked to how many tracks you have released this year. So it's all about that. And second point is regarding the fans. We think that music needs a new layer of experience. Today you are able to stream, you are able to listen, you are able to follow, to engage, but everything, like you can do this only passively. And now you can become a partner of the artist, a co-creator, as we say at Bolero. So this is a new way really to live music and to empower artists. Hope it answers. Yep.
Hi, I'm Nishant from Lomas. My question was more around streaming, because streaming is a passive behavior, as you said, and often we don't realize, who we are listening to, and then we are changing the behavior to more active, discovering the artist, like taking control of playlists and all. So from a user experience perspective, do you see it as a threshold to adoption? Like streaming is very easy, it's AI, it gives you recommendations, you listen, and now you have to really manage, like we are moving towards that. So what are you thinking that from ease perspective, UX perspective, what could reduce the threshold to adoption?
That's a deep topic, but I try to be short. So actually, when you only talk about the benefits and the why, music fans and people connect with what you do. If you start by saying, oh, but look, you can own NFTs, you can be like the owner of a specific exclusive content, and it's actually attached to an NFT, and if you stake your social tokens, maybe you will be able to, people don't follow this. But if you only talk about the benefits, which are get closer to your favorite artist, become a partner, impact his career or her career, then people understand this is a new experience. This is a new way to engage. So we just have to put blockchain behind the scenes. So we have to, if people want to live the experience anonymously with a wallet, we should offer this possibility. But if people don't want to understand how it works and they don't care about what is blockchain and what is an NFT or a social token, we should not, make it mandatory to understand it, to live the experience. So we just think that regarding like the UX perspective of this new experience in the music industry, people will see this as mentioned, a proof of support, and they will see this as something with which they can show off. We all know these friends, who talks about an artist that you actually have discovered 1 year ago before him. How do you prove that? And how do you benefit from that? Because actually artist blows up thanks to the fans. So it's also a way to redistribute value and to make, to have a more fair music industry. Thank you, guys. Have a great day.